Well, welcome back to Introduction to Hatha Yoga. I'm John Reiners. Glad to have you back here with us for yoga again. Let's go ahead and try to find a nice comfortable seated pose on your mat. Again, I always like to have a blanket to sit on to raise your hips a little bit. And the key starting point of yoga is to try to feel that calmness in your mind and relaxation in the body. The three keys for me are the breath, stretching the spine, and then just totally relaxing the mind. So as we come to the seated pose, find just a comfortable cross-legged position. You can fold your hands in your lap or have them on your knees, but we just want to focus on stretching the spine. Big slow inhales where we really feel us grow a little bit taller on the inhale. On the exhale, let the shoulders relax. Feel like there's a wave of relaxation that just rolls down through your arms. And just sit tall and try to find that quiet center inside of yourself. A big part of what we're doing in yoga is really trying to just move beyond the busyness and hecticness of our everyday mind. There's so many deadlines and goals and worries that we store in our mind. It's almost like a kid with his toy box. It keeps all these old toys in there. We've got all these old worries or deadlines and goals accumulated in that box. Yoga gives us a chance to just move past that. We're going to take that box and just turn it upside down and empty it out. We really want to try to practice that kind of quiet mind of the observer, the witness mind. We want to kind of step back from that busy mind and just pay attention to the breath, to our postures, and just stretch easily into each of the yoga poses. Let's go ahead and bring our hands into Anjali Mudra, prayer position right in front of the heart. Again, sit tall, your tummy is in, keep your chin tucked just slightly. Feel that length and strength through the spine. Shoulders are back and relaxed, the legs are relaxed. And let's inhale the arms wide. Big inhale, really expand the chest, sit tall, and then slow exhales. We just push the air out of the lungs, bring the hands back to prayer pose. Let's do that again. Slow extension, big inhale, really open the lungs up, and then exhale, hands back to prayer pose. This time we're going to inhale the arms straight up, so just inhale, stretch up as tall as you can, exhale, the arms right back down. Again, we're going to inhale the arms straight up again. Big stretch, and then put the fingertips together. Kind of flatten out your hands at the top, and on the exhale, just feel like you're pushing the air down and out, and then come back into prayer pose. Let's bring the hands to the side. We'll do a little side stretch now. So let's inhale the right arm up. Stretch tall. Tummy is in, and walk that left hand out. Keep that right sit bone on the mat and stretch on the right side. Turn to look up to that inside elbow if that's comfortable, but you want to feel that big stretch on the right side. Big slow breaths here. And then inhale back up, stretch tall for just a minute. Turn that hand and exhale it down. Inhale the left arm up. Stretch tall. And on the exhale, walk that right hand out. Keep that left sit bone firm on the mat and stretch up and over. Turn to look to that inside elbow if that's comfortable. But each inhale, feel like you're stretching up and over just a little bit more. And then inhale back up. Stretch tall. And exhale, the hands down. Let's bring the hands up to shoulder level and just kind of hold them out here. What I want to do is kind of a sitting cow-cat position. So we want to round the shoulders, round the back. We come into kind of an angry cat pose with an arch back, and then lift the shoulders back and arch back and extend up. And round the shoulders forward, tummy comes in, and then extend back. Roll the shoulders back, just stretch as far as you can. And let's do that one more time. Round the shoulders forward, tummy is in, and then stretch back. And then just release the hands down. Let's try to do that same sort of push forward and backwards with just our tummy now. Leave the shoulders right exactly where they are. I want you just to arch the back, push the tummy forward as much as you can, and then bring the tummy in. Try to keep the shoulders still, but tuck that tummy in as far to the spine as you can. And inhale, push the tummy out. Exhale, bring that belly button right back to the spine. And one more time, push the tummy out. And then bring the tummy back in. And then just sit tall and relax. Just kind of to give us a little bit of release and warm up in the hips. Let's do kind of hula hoops hips. So just kind of roll in a circle on your hips. Feel like you really had a hula hoop here and you could circle it around. Although as a kid, I was never any good at hula hoops. And then pause and let's go the other way. So just kind of loosening the hips, still sitting tall. You're trying to sit just as tall as you can. Stretching up through the spine and just loosening the hips. And then release those, and let's sit nice and tall and do our neck releases. So let's just drop the chin to the chest. Focus on that tall spine again. So the tummy is in, the chest is lifted, and the head is just pulling the chin down. And then inhale slowly up. We're going to point the chin to the ceiling. Just stretch as much as you can. Don't arch the back. We want to stay straight with the tummy in. So keep the tummy pulled in just as much as you can. Shoulders rolled back. And stretch the front of the neck. And then slowly release that. Then we want to drop the left ear to the left shoulder. So just try to drop your head sideways. Keep the shoulders relaxed. And feel that big stretch on the right side of your neck. And gently release that. And let's go the other way with the neck release. So the right shoulder, right ear to the right shoulder. Sit tall, tummy is in. Big stretch on the left side of the neck. Keep those nice, deep, slow breaths through each of these poses. Release that up, and then let's go ahead and drop the chin back to the chest again. Sit tall, and I want to do half neck rolls. So just on the next inhale, slowly start to roll your head up on the left shoulder. Roll it all the way back till you can look up at the ceiling, then pause. And then exhale it slowly down the same shoulder. Pause just briefly at the chest, and then we're going to roll up the right shoulder. Inhaling as you come up. Pause at the top and slowly release it and exhale on the way down. Let's do that one more time on each side. So just sit tall and slowly roll it up the left shoulder. Stretch tall and release it. And come up the right shoulder. Inhaling on the way up. Stretch as tall as you can, and then exhale on the way down. And then release your neck. Let's go ahead and interlace our fingers behind our back. Sit tall. We're going to do just a little forward bend with a shoulder release too. So sit as tall as you can. The tummy is in. Big inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to tilt forward. Try to keep the back as straight as you can. And then start to raise the hands Lift them just as high as you can. Doesn't make any difference how high you get, but you want to feel the stretch in the shoulders and the extension in the spine. Tuck the chin. We're leading with the crown of the head, so don't try to lead with your face. Just stretch up. And gently release that. Come back to your nice sitting pose, and let's try to gently do a back bend. So bring the interlaced fingers down to the floor behind you and just arch back. Roll the shoulders back, a little kind of baby back bend. Look up at the ceiling and just feel your heart lift right between the shoulders. And then gently release that. Release your hands. Let's do a little bit of a twist. So bring that right hand to the left knee. Left hand will be behind you. Sit just as tall as you can. Tuck the tummy in, chin is tucked, and on the exhale, we're going to gently twist to our left, to your left. Nice full breaths again. Try to really expand the ribs in the twist. And gently release that. Come back to center. And we'll go the other way. Left hand to the right knee. Right hand behind us. Sit tall. Tuck the tummy in. And then gently twist to your right. Again, we're turning the rib cage. So feel the turn in the middle of the back. It doesn't make any difference how far your shoulders or head and neck come. Just feel the rib cage turn more than anything else. And then just gently release that. And we'll go back and start in the same position. So bring that right hand over to the left knee. This time the left hand is going to stay out to the side. We're going to inhale this left arm up. Our shoulders are square to this left knee. And now we're going to do a little side bend. We're going to try to drop our right shoulder over close to that right knee and stretch up and over. Again, keep that left sit bone on the mat. We don't want to tilt over. Feel that big stretch on the left side of the body. Deep, full breaths again. And let your next inhale bring you back up. Stretch tall. And turn the hand and let that float down. And we're going to go the other way. So left hand to the right knee. Right hand is out to the side. Square your shoulders over this knee. Sit nice and tall. Inhale. This right arm up. Stretch just as tall as you can. And then side bend. We're going to drop this left shoulder towards the left knee. And stretch and breathe. Big breaths. Really try to inhale to expand the ribs just as much as you can. And then inhale back up. Take that moment to stretch tall, kind of unkink the back, and then turn the hand and let it float gently, gently down. Let's square to the front. Let's do just a shoulder release. So let's release our shoulders up and forward. Just roll the shoulders. Still sitting tall, so you want to keep the tummy in. The crown of the head still stretching high. And big, slow shoulder rolls. And then just pause and let's reverse that. So bring them up and back. Always feels so good for me just to do some shoulder rolls during the day. I get so much tension in when you're sitting at the desk. And just release that. And I want to do one more shoulder release. Probably need a strap for that. I brought a tie instead of a strap today. So it's, and then yeah, if you don't have a strap at home, just use a tie or any sort of length of cloth will do fine. What I want to do is Gomukhasana. That's cow face position. And what we do then is to bend this. Should be the right leg that's coming underneath. Try to bring this right heel just as close as you can underneath your tailbone. And then we're going to bring the left knee, and as best we can, get it right on top of that other knee. So we're trying to line the knees up right on top of each other. And then we're going to take, let's see, we've got the right leg down, so it's going to be the left arm that goes up. So hold the strap or tie in your left arm and stretch it tall. And then we want to bring the other hand, the right hand around and behind the back to try to reach up and grab that tie as much as you can. And then we're trying to walk those hands together. So we're trying to walk those hands as close as they get together. This elbow in the air is going to go straight up. Try to keep it as straight as you can. We still want to keep that length in the spine so the tummy is in. We're still stretching upward. Shoulders are square to the front, so don't let your shoulders angle off. And eventually, hopefully, you're going to be able to walk your fingers together where you'll actually be able to clasp your hands behind your back. But just sit tall and take another couple of deep breaths. And gently release that. And we have to do the other side. So we're going to switch the legs. Left leg will come on the bottom. And we'll try to get this right knee right on top of this. This is cow face, and at least as I've heard it, why the knees are supposed to be the lips of the cow, and the elbow that's up in the air is the ear of the cow. In any case, it's our left leg that's down, so the right hand goes up. So stretch up with that right hand, bend that left behind there, and yeah, try to grab the strap. Get as close as you can to try to get those hands together. Sit tall, nice deep slow breaths, and feel that stretch in the shoulders. You got one shoulder stretching up, the other one's down. There's going to be that nice big diagonal stretch across the back. Keep the tummy in, keep your head tucked just a little bit, and deep slow breaths. And gently release that. And release the knees, come back to your nice, comfortable seated position. Let's do another big, wide inhale. Inhale the arms just as wide as we can. Fill the lungs completely. And then exhale, slowly back to prayer pose. And just bow your head slightly and take another breath right here. And then release that. And then what I want to try to do today before we get started in the actual poses, the asanas, is to do a little bit of pranayama. That whole sense of breath control is an important part of yoga. And so let's go ahead and just take the index finger and the middle finger on the right hand and bring them up and put them right between your eyes. And then I want you to take the thumb and close off that right nostril. And let's take a big inhale. And then we're going to switch nostrils. We're going to release that thumb and bring the ring finger to close that left nostril. And slow exhale. And inhale again. And we're going to switch. So bring the thumb over, close that nostril, release the ring finger, and then just slowly exhale. Big inhale through that left nostril. Pause and then switch. Breathing is an important part of yoga. I want you to continue with that alternate breathing, so keep your right hand up and just kind of practice the alternate breath there. Pranayama is one of the 8 steps of yoga. The asanas, the poses that we do, are one of the other steps. But yoga really has 8 steps. I want you guys to keep tall and you do that alternate nostril breathing. And I'm just going to talk through the 8 steps of yoga. But really focus on the breath. Try to fill your lungs completely in that nice slow rhythm of alternate nostril breathing. But the first step in yoga is moral restraint. It's the yamas. The yamas tell us, not to harm others, not to lie, not to steal. The second step in yoga are the niyamas, the self-discipline of yoga, the sense of purity and contentment and self-discipline. And then the third step are the asanas, the physical poses, the stretching we actually do to try to align the body and calm the body. The fourth step is pranayama, that sense of breathing and breath control. We tend to take so many little shallow breaths during the day that yoga is a chance for us to really clear the lungs out, take those nice slow deep breaths and be mindful of our breath. The fifth step is pratyahara, which is sense control, or really kind of feeling that sense of detachment from that constant bombardment we've got from visual stimulation and sound and everything else, and take control of that to try to detach from all those sensual stimuli that we're receiving. The sixth step is dharana, which is focus on concentration, the ability to focus the mind on a single point. The seventh step is dhyana, which is meditation. We want to be able to sit quietly in meditation for 20-30 minutes and just not focus on thoughts, but simply observe and be the witness to what's happening. And the final step in yoga is that sense of sadmahi, that sense of unity and integrity, that union with that divine intelligence, that divine presence within us. So that's our ultimate goal in yoga. It's not just stretching through the physical postures, but that sense of complete calm and integrity that we can feel when we feel at one with that divine sense of energy in each of us. All right, go ahead and release your hand and take another breath just here in the seated pose, and let's go ahead and come to standing. And we'll start to go through some of those same poses that I went through in the beginning. That's a moon salutation sequence. And we'll start with some of those same poses that we did, that I did at the beginning in that sequence. So bring your feet close together with the toes closer together than the heels. We're going to start in mountain pose or Tadasana. So just tighten the legs, feel that tailbone tuck under, feel that lift through the center of the body. Chin is tucked, and let's go ahead and practice our yoga toes again. So lift the toes and try to separate them just as much as you can. You can look down and hopefully you can see a little bit of the mat between the toes. And then add the yoga fingers. We're going to stretch the fingers down just as far as you can. And feel that strength in the mountain pose. Strong legs, feel that stretch up through the spine, just as strong as you're pulling down through the fingers. You feel the spine stretching up. And on the next exhale, let's just gently release the fingers, release the toes, but keep this nice, straight, strong mountain pose. Tummy is in, chest is lifted. Feel like each inhale brings you a little bit taller. And each exhale, just feel that wave of relaxation that rolls down the shoulders, down through the fingertips. And then just gently release that, and let's do a little wiggle wag. This is Ganeshasana. So we're the Hindu god Ganesh again, waving our trunk. All right, let's come back into mountain pose. From here, I want to go into crescent moon. That was the first of the sequences in that moon sequence. All we want to do is, stand tall in mountain again. So tummy is in. We're feeling that stretch through the spine. And then on the inhale, let's raise the right arm. Stretch it straight up, be as tall as you can get. Tummy is in. And then on the exhale, just bend, side bend to your left. So you're going to stretch up and over. Hopefully this looks a little bit like a crescent moon. You can turn to face that inside elbow if that's comfortable, but feel that left hand walk down the thigh a little bit and stretch up and over on that left side. Big, big breaths in the side bends again. We really want to expand the ribs. Feel the ribs stretch as much as you can. And then let's inhale slowly back up, stretch tall. And then turn the hand and slowly exhale it down. And the left arm comes up. Slow, deliberate inhale, stretch through the fingertips. Tummy's in, really lengthen the spine, and then crescent moon to the right. So we're going to be letting that finger walk down the thighs. We stretch up and over on the left side. Big, big breaths again. Really feel the extension on that left side. And let your next inhale bring you back up. Take that moment at the top to really extend and kind of unkink the spine, and then turn the hand and slowly exhale it down. Then just take a breath here in mountain. And then the next position was star. So you can walk or hop your legs out to a nice full leg length apart. Have a nice wide stance. We want to inhale the arms wide, so we're like a 5-pointed star. The head's the 5th point, but stretch through the fingertips, stretch up through the spine. Be sure to keep your tailbone tucked under and the tummy in. We want to lengthen the spine, so a nice tall, long spine. Stretch through the arms, feel that length through the legs. and tall spine. Chin is still tucked a little bit, so we're stretching up, but really feel like you're stretching all 5 directions at the same time. Big breaths again. Really try to feel this extension out through the fingertips and the crown of the head on the inhale, and feel you push back down through the legs and the feet on the exhale. Take one more breath. And then on the exhale, release the hands. And you can hop or walk your legs together. And let's just take a breath. So we've done crescent moon, we've done star. We're out of our celestial things to do right now, because the next pose is going to be Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. We're going to start that with a nice wide stance again. So hop or walk your legs to a nice wide stance. And let's start on the left side. So turn your left foot out. And we want to have the hips parallel to the long end of the mat. So we really have to crank this right hip back. Keep your shoulders parallel to the wrong end of the mat. But we want to turn this whole leg. Don't just turn the foot. You want to give that leg just kind of a practice bend. Be sure this knee is coming out right over the ankle. You don't want it coming in front, or you don't want it going in back. It should be, the whole leg needs to turn from the hip, and that knee needs to come right out over the ankle. All right? That's our foundation pose. Check your feet. The front foot should be pointed right back into the middle of the other foot. The other foot is slightly turned forward, so you don't want it straight at 90 degrees, but bring those toes forward just a little bit. And so let's get our hips in position, get our shoulders in position, and let's inhale the arms up, and just take another deep breath here. This is a little bit different version of the almost 5-pointed star. Feel the strength in the legs, feel the length through the arms, and stretch up through the head. And let's take another big inhale here, stretch tall. And this time on the exhale, we're going to bend this left knee and just try to drop the hips straight down. Try to keep the torso straight up and down. I don't want you leaning. If anything, pull with this back arm like you're pulling into that back wall. Ideally, you want to get that front thigh close to parallel to the ground, but you're pushing back. Keep the weight in this back leg as well. So you don't want all the weight on the front, but push into that back leg. Knee should be right over the ankle. And when you feel comfortable, you want to turn the head and look over that front finger, the middle finger on that front hand. But keep the shoulder back, keep that hip back. You're really trying to keep the torso opened back to your right. Take one more breath. And then on the next inhale, let's push off. And on the exhale, release the hands, turn the foot. Take a breath, and we get to be warriors. Virabhadrasana 2 on the other side. This is Proud Warrior. Again, make sure your foot is straight out to the front. So we're turning your right foot this time. And you want to keep it pointed right back into the middle of that left foot. And we're going to open the hips, open the shoulders. Give that front knee a little test bend to be sure that knee is coming out right over the ankle. And then we're going to inhale, arms up, stretch tall, feel the hips open, shoulders are parallel. And then on the exhale, we're going to bend that left leg, try to drop the hips straight down, so keep the torso straight up and down. And big slow breaths. Keep rolling this hip back, rolling the left shoulder back, and then turn to look over the middle finger on your right hand. Try to keep the shoulders relaxed. I've seen folks that like to do the Warrior 2 up here. Keep the shoulders just as low as you can. Stretch through the arms. Take one more breath. And on the next inhale, let's push slowly back up, and exhale the hands down, turn the foot. Let's hop or walk your feet together and take a breath. All right, from Warrior 2, Proud Warrior, we're going to go to side angle, Parsvakonasana. But it's the same basic pose. We'll start with that nice wide stance, and we're going to turn the left foot out and keep the hips open, keep the shoulders open. Be sure you've got that knee coming out straight, so give it a little test bend. And with your hips parallel, shoulders parallel, let's inhale and extend. Big extension of the spine. Exhale, bend that front knee, that left knee. And this time we do tilt. Bring this left forearm down to the thigh. Stretch over. We want to have this nice straight line from the right hand in the air to that right heel in the back. And stretch. If it's comfortable, you can turn to look up at that inside elbow. Again, we're still keeping this hip rolled back. Don't let the hip roll over. You want to keep the hips and shoulder open, just as open as you can. Big stretch. And take one more breath. And the next inhale, let's push off. Come slowly back up. And exhale, the hands down, turn the feet. And we get to go the other way. So turn your right foot out. Check your alignment. Be sure it's coming right back into the center of this other foot. Open the hips so they're parallel to the long end. Test bend. And then let's inhale, the arms up. Feel the length of the spine, really extend, tailbones under, tummy's in, and on the exhale, we're going to bend that right foot, or right leg. And again, try to get the knee right over the ankle. Keep the hips open, so rolling that hip back, rolling the shoulder back, and we tilt to come into Konasana, side angle stretch on the other side. Nice straight line from your left fingertips in the air to that left heel. Roll the hip and shoulder back. Big, slow breaths. Try to really feel the turn in the rib cage. And take one more breath. And then let's push off. Slowly come back up. Exhale, the hands down. Turn the foot. And hop your legs together. And take a breath. All right, we're going to do the same version again, only this time it's going to be in a bound position. We're going to not have that hand in the air. We're going to bring it to our low back. So let's start again with a nice wide stance. And turn that left foot out. Hips are open, shoulders are open. Let's inhale wide, tall, and exhale. Bend that left leg, and we tilt. Only now, instead of coming that hand up, let's bring that right hand down to the low back. And if it's comfortable, if you can, reach under, loop your fingers, and then stretch back up. That really pulls back on that right shoulder. That's what we want to do. We want to keep that top shoulder coming back. Stretch and breathe. And take one more breath. And then gently release that. Let's push back up. And turn the feet and get ready to go the other way. So turn your right foot out, check your alignment. Let's open the hips, open the shoulders. Inhale, big wide stance, strong tummy. Exhale, bend that right leg. We're going the other side, but now we come back into bound. So that top arm comes down on the low back. And reach if you can grab it. If you can't, just try to keep that hand on that low back. But we want to try to stretch up and then stretch that top shoulder. So we're rolling that top left shoulder there back. And big, slow breaths. Keep trying to extend the spine. So we're really trying to still stretch tall through the crown of the head. And then gently release that. We'll come all the way back up. Inhale the arms wide. And exhale them down. And then just hop the legs together. Take a breath. Now we get to try the balancing pose. This is half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. To do that, let's just go ahead and take a little step with your left foot out here. And what we want to do this time is to square the hips and the shoulders to the front of the mat, to the narrow end of the mat. And again, let's start with the right hand on the low back. So we almost like we did in that bound Konasana. And we're going to lean forward. If you need a block, this is a good place to use a block, but we want to bring the hand down on the outside of this front foot, about a foot in front of it. So we want to lean forward like that. If you need a block, it's there. If you can get down to the floor, that's even better. And lift up to balance in that back leg. Try to get it up where it's going to be parallel to the ground. And then if you can, roll that hip up, release that top arm to stretch up. Try to keep the extension through the spine. And then just gently bend that foundation leg and roll back the other way. Take a breath and we get to try it the other way. So Bring your block with you, because typically it's nice to have that block to put the hand on. And yeah, we start with a shorter stance. Square your shoulders and hips to the other wall. Big inhale to extend, and then exhale. Just kind of rock forward. Bring your hand to the block if you need that, or if you can do it to the floor, that's fine. This other hand is on the low back, and then we want to stretch that back leg up. Try to get to the point where you can feel comfortable balanced here, and then eventually try to roll the hip open, stretch that arm up, and just stretch through the length of the spine. Really keep that spine long so the chin is still tucked, tummy's in. Stretch, and then bend that foundation leg and push off, and come back. Hop your legs together and just take a breath. And we've got one more pose that we're going to do on the wide angle of the mat. So let's hop the legs long. And this is triangle. Trikonasana. Put the left foot out again. Check your alignment. We're not going to bend this front leg this time. This is going to stay solid. But the hips are open, shoulders are open. And so we want to inhale wide again. Let's take a full breath here. So just stretch tall, stretch wide. Take your exhale. Take one more inhale. Really try to feel the tummy come in, the spine grow tall. And now on the exhale, we're going to tilt over to the left. Bump your hip out back to the right, and then just tilt. Bring the hand to the knee, or if you get it to the shin, wherever. You don't have to get to the ground, but you want to keep the shoulder rolled back and keep this hip rolled back. So we're trying to roll that hip back, roll that top shoulder back, and then turn to look at that hand in the air if you can. But keep the extension of the spine. We want to go long from the tummy through the crown of the head. You don't want to get, round over like that. You want to stay open with that top hip back, the shoulder back. Stretch and breathe. This is triangle. And then the next inhale, let's come all the way back up. Exhale, the hands down, turn the foot, and we get to go the other way. So the right foot points out. Keep your left foot angled slightly. Open the hips again. Open the shoulders. Inhale, the arms out. Big stretch, crown of the head is tall. Bump the hip to the left, and now we're tilting to the right. Let the hand come down to the knee or to the shin, and just stretch as much as you can, but you're rolling the top shoulder, rolling this top hip back. You don't want to bring the hips over. The hips are as open as possible. So really rolling the hips open, keeping that top shoulder back, and stretch long as you turn the head to look up towards that hand in the air. And big, slow breaths. Amen. Gently release that. Inhale as you come up. Turn the foot. Exhale, hands down. Let's just hop the legs together and take a big, deep breath, because now we're ready to go ahead and try to put all that together in sequence. So we'll start in mountain. We'll do it nice and slow. See if we can kind of vinyasa our way. Do a flow of poses that goes from mountain to half moon to star. And then we do warrior two, side angle. And then we got to try to gently go into half moon and come back to triangle. So let's just start in mountain and just find that nice solid base. Feel the legs are strong, tummy is in. Feel the lift up through the spine. Now let's inhale this right arm up. Stretch tall, and then exhale into crescent moon. Just kind of tilt to your left. Big stretch on that right side of the body. And then we're going to inhale back up. Exhale, the hand down. And now we're going to jump to star. So nice wide stance. And stretch all 5 points. So we're stretching through the hands, stretch up through the crown of the head too. We're really trying to get that vertical extension. Tailbone is under, tummy is in. And from here we're going right to warrior two. So we're going to turn this right leg out. Have it pointed to the side. big stretch, and then on the exhale, we're just going to drop the torso straight down. Try to keep the torso straight up and down. So we don't want to tilt one way or the other. We want to keep the torso nice and straight. Open the hips, open the shoulders, and then from here we just bend over to go to side angle, Parsvakonasana. Big stretch here, roll that shoulder back, roll that hip back. And then from here, we're going to drop this top arm down into the low back. We're not going to do the bound pose. We're going to move from here straight into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So bring this hand on the floor, or again, if you need a block, have that block right there. And try to find the balance. Try to lift that back leg. Once that back leg gets up, try to roll that arm up, that shoulder up, and stretch as much as you can. And then here's the fun part. We're going to push off and go right to triangle. Just kind of bend this foundation leg, stretch back, bring the hand to the shin, and we're going to stretch up as we open the chest, open the shoulder back, open the hip, and then come all the way up. Stretch wide and turn the foot. And we're back in star again. Take a breath in star, and we get to go the other way. So turn that right foot out. You can be sure the hips are parallel to the long end of the mat, the shoulders are parallel. Take a big breath and stretch wide. Exhale as we bend that left knee. Stay in warrior, keep it nice and straight here. Keep the hip back, the shoulder back, and then tilt. We're going into Parsvakonasana, side angle. Stretch that left arm, keep the hip and shoulder rolling back, so we want to keep as parallel to the long end of the mat as you can. Drop that top arm down to the low back. Hop your back foot forward. Again, use the block if you need, but find that balance point on the floor. Lift that back leg. And then when you're comfortable, stretch up into half moon. Big extension. And then now we're going to push off from this front leg and just kind of rock right back into triangle. Keep that foot on the shin. Stretch up and open. Shoulders back, hips back. And inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands down. And we're going to hop the legs together. And we got to do that crescent moon on the other side. So let's inhale. The left arm up, stretch tall. Exhale over to the right. Inhale back up, and then exhale the hand down. All right, that's moon sequence with a little extra time and breaths in it. Let's go ahead and take another couple of breaths here, and then we'll try to do that whole sequence, the moon sequence, in a little bit more of a flow fashion on the breath if we can. So stand tall in mountain. Let's inhale that right arm up. Exhale over to crescent moon. Inhale back up. Exhale the hand down. Inhale as you hop or jump into star. Feel that big stretch. And then turn that left foot. And keep the hips open. And we're going to stretch into warrior two. So arms are extended. Tummy is tight and tall. Turn to look over that front finger as you bend forward to go straight to side angle. Stretch long, and then bring that top arm down behind the back. Hop that leg forward, find the balance, lift that back leg, stretch up into half moon, and then bend that leg. We're going right to triangle, and stretch up into triangle. Look up to that hand in the air, and then inhale all the way up. And we get to turn, stay in star for just a breath, and then it's the right foot that comes out. We get to go the other way. Open the shoulders, open the hips, big extension on the exhale. Bring that right leg, we're warrior two. Keep the shoulders parallel, look towards that front hand, and then bend into side angle. Big stretch, top arm comes to the low back, hop that back foot forward. Find the block or the floor, lift that back leg, and then once you've got your balance, extend the hand up, roll that hip up, stretch, and then bend and just kind of rock right back into triangle. Open the hips, open the arms, and then inhale as you come up. Turn the foot, stretch wide into star, Exhale as you hop back down. And then we're going to inhale this left arm up. Stretch really tall. And exhale it to the other side. Inhale back up. Exhale the arm down. And then let's just take a couple of breaths here in mountain and just rest and congratulate yourself on the successfully completing the moon sequence, the moon salutation. Let's stand tall, keep the legs strong. Tummy is in, tailbone's tucked under. Feel that length in the body. We're always trying to lengthen the spine in yoga. And then let's just release from mountain, wiggle a little bit, and let's come down to the mat and find that nice comfortable seated position. We'll stretch our legs out into Dandasana. So legs are long, want to flex the feet so the calves are engaged, and then engage the thighs so the legs are really strong. Pull the toes back. You can practice your yoga toes here and really try to spread the toes. But then we want to extend the torso, so feel like you're trying to pull that tailbone under and feel that little lift at the front of the pelvis. The pelvic floor is engaged, tummy comes in a little bit, and then we want to lift the chest, lift the heart, pull the tummy in way under that, and tuck the chin. The chin comes almost to the chest, so we feel like we're stretching up through the back of the neck. Arms are just kind of gentle at your side to give us a little support. But this should be a real active pose. Legs are very active, the tummy's very active. Really feel the neck stretching up. And let's take one more big breath here. Really feel the crown of the head get a little bit taller on this inhale. And on the exhale, just release it. Relax the shoulders, relax the legs, and bounce the legs a little bit. And from here, let's go to Janushirasana, or the one-legged forward bend. So let's take the right leg and bend that. And as soon as we bend this leg, we kind of have a tendency to veer off to the other side. We want to square ourselves over this left foot in front. And then with the spine nice and tall and straight, we're going to inhale up. Stretch tall, really feel the tummy come in, spine extend, and then straight spine, we tilt forward. Try to hinge right at the hips, let the hands come to the shins or knees, wherever is comfortable. If you've got a strap, you can use that to stretch out to the foot, or if you can easily get there on your own, that's fine. We'll try to keep the back straight, keep the tummy in, and keep the chin tucked. We want to stretch forward through the crown of the head. And big, slow breaths.
Surround us with your love.
Again, let the breath tell you just where to go in each pose. The breath will tell you just where that kind of margin of comfort is. You want to stretch just a little bit, but certainly not to the point of pain. And gently release that. Walk your hands back, and we'll swap out the legs. So the right leg comes out. We're going to bring the left leg up, and right leg is flexed. And again, we have to square our shoulders up on this right leg. Inhale, the arms up together, stretch tall. Exhale, hinge at the hips. And then release the hands, let them come to the knee or shin, just wherever is comfortable. If you need a strap, you can use that. I can use my tie again, but yeah, you want to try to stretch forward. Inhale, you're stretching up and forward. Keep that chin tucked. Exhale, feel the tailbone push back down into the mat. Feel yourself hinge just a little bit more at the hips. And big slow breaths. Let your breath tell you just where to go. And then gently release that. And let's keep this left leg bent under here. We're going to go to a twist. This is Hatha Matsyendrasana, half Lord of the Fishes twist. So we need to get this knee straight forward. So you have the knee that's going straight forward on the mat. This heel is close to the tailbone, so it's almost like you're sitting on it. Right leg gets bent, and we're going to bring that over this left thigh. Again, we want to sit straight and tall, and this is going to be a twist to our right. So Inhale and try to just gently start to turn the ribs as you bring your right hand behind you. And the left arm, you can just kind of grab and hug this knee, or if you can, get that upper left arm on top of it, on top of the thigh. But we always want to sit nice and tall and straight. Inhale up, the tummy is in, and then on the exhale, just gently twist to your right. Again, turn the rib cage. Doesn't make any difference how far the shoulders or neck gets. We want to turn the rib cage more than anything. Inhale, try to get taller. Exhale, see if you can twist just a little bit more. And just gently turn your head to the shoulder at the end. The twist comes in the middle of the back. Big, big breaths again. Really try to expand the ribs. And gently release that. And we get to go the other way. So unwind the feet, legs. Now it's the right leg that gets bent, so that knee is forward. Left leg is over that. Sit tall. We're going to twist to the left. So the left hand is behind us. Tummy is in, and you can just hug this knee in. That's fine. Or if you can get the upper arm on top of the thigh. And we want to sit tall, tummy stretched in, and then turn the rib cage. Feel like you're trying to turn the ribs to the back, and just let the head gently follow at the end. Should be no tension in the neck and shoulders. You're really trying to turn in the middle of the back. And just gently release that. Bring both legs out to the front. And let's go ahead and just do kind of an easy forward bend. So start in Dandasana. Flex the feet, flex the legs. Feel the torso get engaged. So we want to tuck the tummy in, feel the tailbone come under, feel that lift through the spine. And we're going to inhale, both arms up. Stretch tall, feel the tummy come in, and then hinge forward on the exhale. Just try to keep the back as straight as you can. And then release the hands again to the knees or shins, wherever. Use your strap to get around the feet and just stretch forward on the inhale. Chin is tucked, so you lead with the crown of the head. On the exhale, feel like you're pushing back through the tailbone, hinging more at the hips. And just stretch and breathe. Let the breath tell you how far to go again. And gently release that. Come back up. Sit nice and tall. And from here, let's try to go into boat for just a few breaths. Boat's a balancing pose. It's a real strengthener for the tummy. Let's kind of bring the knees up and let's try to raise the legs up. Keep your hands right under the thighs here and just kind of hold here. Try to get the shins as parallel as you can to the ground. This is half boat or modified boat. But again, try to feel that length through the spine. The tummy is in. You're still trying to stretch up through the crown of the head. Big, slow breaths. Take one more breath. And then gently release that. And if you're comfortable with that, just stay right there. But we're going to go right back and try to do a full boat this time instead of just a modified boat. So find your balance point. Stretch the legs out again. This time we want to stretch the legs straight and release the hands. Feel that extension through the legs, through the tummy, through the arms. We're stretching in 3 directions at the same time. Chin is tucked, strong tummy. Really stretch through the toes, through the crown of the head, and through the fingers at the same time. Take one more breath and then release the feet and release the breath. Take a big breath, and we're going to gently roll down to the back. So just slowly roll down to the mat. And when we get to the mat, I always like to reach both hands up overhead and just do a nice 4-pointed stretch. So stretch the arms off the top of the mat, stretch the feet off the bottom of the mat. Big, big stretch. And then finally just release it completely, relax. And then bring your hands down to your side. And let's inhale, both knees up to the chest. and hug the knees into the chest and just feel that back flatten out. And then from here, I want to go to one of my favorite poses. This is Happy Baby, Ananda Balasana. So you want to try to reach up, grab your shins if you can, or the ankles, or if you can get your big toes and just do a yoga grip on the toes. Try to pull the knees just straight into the chest on each side, and we're going to gently rock left to right. Massage out that low back. This could be my favorite yoga pose of all. Just like a little baby, just rocking back and forth. And then from here, we're going to release the toes and bring the feet down. Stretch long, and we're ready for Savasana. So just kind of rock your hips back and forth, your shoulders. Let your feet fall out to each side, off the corners of the mat. Bring your arms out maybe 30 degrees with the palm up. And again, if you've got a eye pillow, which is nice, you can just rest that over your eyes and use that to just help you completely relax. And I want you to spend the next 5 or 10 minutes just completely relaxed in Savasana, final relaxation. And just let all the good intentions, the good stretching, the good breathing that we've done in yoga, let that be absorbed in the body. Let yourself just release to that inner wisdom that's within each of us. And I wanted to close with a Mary Oliver poem. It says, "When I am among the trees. When I am among the trees, especially the willows and the honey locust, equally the beech, the oaks, and the pines, they give off such hints of gladness. I would almost say that they save me, and daily. I am so distant from the hope of myself, in which I have goodness and discernment, and never hurry through the world, but walk slowly and bow often. Around me the trees stir their leaves, and they call out, 'Stay a while.' The light flows from their branches, and they call again. 'It's simple,' they say, 'and you too have come into this world to do this, to go easy, to be filled with light, and to shine.' May the power and the peace of yoga be with you today and all days. Namaste.